Oh, okay, awesome, thank you. Good evening. Thank you all for coming today. And um, I know it's a big crowd today, so welcome to everyone. And I'm Suman Puluri. I run the Austin Startup Meetup, and we've been doing this meetup for almost 2 years now. And it's good to see a lot of people, a lot of new faces come every month and support us with the meetup. And so there's going to be a couple of changes to the event today because of last minute cancellations of some of the people that are going to speak. But I'm going to, but we'll still have a few set of things that we will go through, and we'll have I'm positive that we'll have some good discussion. So just before I start, just wanted to have a couple of questions to the audience. You can just raise your hand. How many of you are here for the first time? Awesome, thank you. Lots of new faces. Okay. So for those that are here for the first time, just give a small intro on what we do here and what we plan on doing here for the next few months as well, and then we'll move on to the main session. So the main purpose of the Austin Startup Meetup is to provide a platform for entrepreneurs and startups in the Austin community to come together and share first-hand experiences on how they're building their startups, their products, their services, and how they're actually growing their companies here. So that way we can learn from each other and also eventually build good and great companies here in Austin. And a lot of times you may think, why is that needed? But then when there's a lot of advice on the internet, but then what I felt when I was first starting my company a few years back was that a lot of advice that we find on the internet is not very personal and not very applicable to the place and to the time that I have started the company in, and also not really very useful to what I was building at that time. So having that first-hand experience, having that first-hand or sharing those first-hand knowledge of what's working here in Austin, what's not working, and what does it take to make life easier as an entrepreneur in Austin, will be better served by talking to other entrepreneurs that have gone through that stage or have been going through that process. So hopefully you'll meet other folks here that you can share some great advice with, and also learn something from them. So with that said, let me just go through a couple of slides here. The first one is sponsors. We're very thankful to Funnel AI, Lenim Out, and Capital Factory to sponsor this event. Funnel AI is it's a B2B company. Basically, it creates machine learning models to understand the context of discussions that happen on the internet and tries to connect companies to any discussion that applies to their business. So if there's someone selling their car or wanting to buy a car on the internet somewhere, talking about it in a public forum, they try to reduce the noise on the social media and just focus on that one thing and show it to the business so they can connect with that customer. Lenim Out is a peer-to-peer rental marketplace where you can rent your items to others when you're not using it and make some money, and also rent from others when you want something and you don't need to buy, just save some money there. So lenimout.com is that website. And Capital Factory, as you all know, we're here and we're thankful to Capital Factory to have given us the space for hosting our meetup. And as you all know, it's the center of gravity for Austrian entrepreneurs. Thousands of events that happen here every year. So if you want to know more about capitalfactory.com, about the memberships and other things, go to capitalfactory.com. And by the way, if any of you are planning to look for a co-working space in the next few months or in the coming days, let me know. I can share with you a code which you can use for applying to the co-working space at Capital Factory and get a month or so off, or a few weeks off. But yeah, just shoot me an email if you are planning to get a co-working space at Capital Factory. I can give you a discount coupon. So this is your general agenda of how we roll, but sometimes it does change a little bit. We go with the flow, and there's no hard and fast things that we try to follow. And again, before going on to the main event, for people that are new to the startup world and planning to apply to accelerators or incubators in the next few months, there's some upcoming deadlines here, but this is not an exhaustive list. There is, you can always go to Angel, I think Angel.co, AngelList, and f6s.com to find all these applications online, and you can submit your applications and find these deadlines and do much more. But this is just a small list of what's coming or the deadlines that are coming in the next couple of months. So I think Sputnik is one of the local accelerators, and then Capital Factory also has an application for the August accelerator here. So I think that's due in July. So you can also check that and submit the application for Capital Factory. Help and hire. If any of you guys are working on your own startups or products or services, and you're just a one-man or one-person team working day and night to get your dream product out, and need some help with testing and things like that, let us know. There's about 2,300 folks in the Meetup group, and we can just shoot out a newsletter or a mailer to all those folks to help you with your testing and things like that. If you so need, just let me know. I can send out a mail to the group. Likewise, if you want me to spread the word, or if you want some help in spreading the word about your products or services, let us know. We will try to work with folks that we know in the network and try to get the word out. And we'll also do some tweets and things like that. So we'll try as much as possible to help spread the word about your startups or products or services. And if you're looking to hire, or if you're hiring someone, let us know. Again, there's lots of people that come here that want to be part of startups and also want to join startups. So we can connect with someone that we know is actively looking for a job or is hiring. And we're also hiring. funnelai.com. You can go to funnelai.com/careers. I'm part of Funnel AI as a disclosure, but we are also hiring. You can look at the careers there. And any startup related questions you have, let us know, and we can try to help you with either connections or network or any other introductions to mentors or advisors or any other folks that you may or may not have existing contacts with. So let us know if you need any help with those things as well. And the next meetup is on August 27th, and if you want to present your app or idea or product or service or whatever, or if you want us to cover any of those topics that you have not seen us cover in the last few months or in the last year, let us know. We've already gone through startup law and venture capital and also accelerators and things like that, but if there's any other things that you want us to cover in more detail, we can bring in folks that can talk about those things, and maybe subject matter experts that can come here and give you more information on things that you need. Um, and I'll also show some other resources and other things later. But before we again move on to the main event, let me ask you a couple of things. How many of you have a startup right now? Those of you, thank you. And how many of you are, I mean, do not have a startup incorporated or anything yet, but have a product in mind that you're maybe working on, could be a startup? Awesome, thank you. And how many of you are veteran entrepreneurs having multiple, I mean, having had experience with multiple startups? There's a few, okay, thank you. Any investors in the room today? No investors?
What's the cap? What's like the minimum?
I mean, just any, if you're an angel investor or it doesn't matter, I mean, if you, in general, are investing or in the process of investing. Okay, thank you. Awesome. So, yeah, just wanted to see even who's in the audience and who, just to get a feel of who it is. And one more thing I want to do is, and we try to do this every time, is we cannot guarantee the sessions that we have here every month will be of use to everyone that comes here, and sometimes you may not be satisfied with the event that we have on that particular day. But one thing we can guarantee is that you can go from this room with a new connection. So what I'd like you, all of you, to do is turn to your right and turn to your left and see if you can find one person that you have not met before you came to this meetup, and just exchange your exchange the contacts, maybe a LinkedIn profile or things like that, and then try to make a new connection. We'll take 2 minutes. Okay. Um, okay. Hello. 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 Okay. So I think I think you guys had a chance to make a new connection here, and I hope that you continue the conversations after the event as well, and continue to have more conversations and more connections with other folks that you have not shared your contacts with. And we also have a Slack channel if you want to get on. It's in my the link to the Slack channel is in my newsletter that I send once every month, and you can go onto the Slack channel and also keep contact with other folks that you have not had a chance to talk here, and and yeah, I mean, I hope that you continue to have more meaningful connections even after this event is done. With that said, I'll turn it over to the main session, which is going to be our first pitch is going to be from James Lockwood, and he's going to come and talk about US.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. How y'all doing, guys? So, my name is James Lockwood, as Suman said. I represent a company named Uvis. And so what is Uvis? Well, Uvis is used by developers who want to innovate and customize their solutions for their clients. Our parent company's name is Optimal Systems. It's been around for almost 30 years. And our motto is software for makers. So what does that mean? That means we create things that are going to be easy to use for developers, but also powerful enough to complete the task. A little bit about me. So I'm the developer advocate for Uvis. I have a cute cat. Her name's Poppy. She's going to be helping me out later, a little bit later, for a couple calls. So Uvis is an API. It's just like every other API that it has shred functionality. You can import, you can store, you can delete, you can edit your content inside of it. But what makes it different? Well, it also takes in the metadata that's associated with the files you send in. So things like created by dates, things like created by who made it, the different times that it's been updated. It also allows you to search by full text of whatever you bring into it. So think about when you're searching for a document and you're trying to find it, like on your search tools, and you're looking for something that says compliance on it. Well, you can type in compliance, and it'll pull out all the different documents that have that inside of it. So it's easy to organize. So things like emails or like maybe invoices or something like that, that's what you can do with it. It does take in over 60 different file types, converts them to PDF form, makes it easy to read it, makes it more scalable. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all our API. So first things first is you would sign up. You'd get your user's instance. Then you're able to go to our products. And we have one product, it's called Uvis Ultimate. You have different settings. You have configurations and settings, which is just going to be like general settings, like the meta data settings and your tenant and stuff like that. And then we also have our CRUD capability, which is just the different calls that you can make, be it delete, gets, posts, things like that. So first things first is you want to store a document. So we'll go to store a document. Now the way you store a document is you have a metadata file, and then you have your actual content that you're going to store. So that's what this is down here in the middle. We're going to go ahead and use Postman to make that call. So I'm going to slide over to that real quick, just so it's easier. It's less techy, I guess. So you'll set up your headers with your subscription ID, and then you'll set your content type, form encoded URL. Then you have your metadata file, which was the one from before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a picture of my cat. Her name's Poppy again. So we're going to send it out real quick. Great, it's done. So how do you know it's there? Well, all this stuff right here is the metadata. It tells you the created by, the date, who modified it. It also has the object ID, which is what we're going to use to make sure she's there. So the next call we'll make is just a get call that's going to call on the object ID. And what I'm going to do is I'm doing it so that way we're able to display it in a small image on your on the window. So we'll send it, and bam, she's there. It's great. Yeah. Now there's other things that you can do with it. What's nice about UVis API is that you can search on different terms. You can search on that metadata. You can follow the history of a file that's been edited. You can track these kind of things. That's what makes it usable. That's what makes it usable for startups. You know, think about all the contracts that y'all send out. Think about the invoices that you have to send out. Being able to organize them will make it really helpful for you. Let me get back to this. So one of the solutions that was built out at our last hackathon that we had was our first place team. Let me see if I can present that again. So our first place team, what they did was they took a video file, they uploaded it in, they were able to parse the video content to text. They searched for a word which they were searching was for compliances. They were able to organize it in a list. It made it easy to view it on the side for their clients. So that's one of the really cool things that can be done with it. Right now it's still really new, and we're still kind of learning, you know, what we possibly can do with it. So we're open to suggestions, open to people trying it out. If you're interested, I have access codes to it. I can give them out to you all afterwards. You can always reach out to me. And yeah, we're also going to be having a hackathon here at the end of August. It's going to be hosted at Galvanize. It's free to attend. So if you want to bring your ideas over that you want to create, or if you want to be a part of a team that builds something out, please sign up for it. And that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
What time is it?
What time is it?
Yeah, August 24th.
August 24th, 25th. Yes.
So in the photo or in the image and the audio, do you have some kind of like neural network that'll scrub contextual data about those in the images or audio?
Yeah.
Add it to the metadata and you can search for it.
So that's one of the things about the customizing the system and the configurations on it. You can specify that you want it to search on that data or take in that specific data that you're looking for, and then you're able to organize it and pull it out in that using that data.
Okay, so I guess the service then is it it's not like packaged up to be sent to, to be used by a company, right? It's just straight for developers.
We do have options that are sent out to a company. They're fully functional working products, but this is definitely more for the developers who want to use it to complete a solution or to make something better, kind of edit something and do something that they weren't able to do before.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right. Well, thanks, guys.
So as I said, there's a couple of changes to the event. We had two of the speakers who had to cancel last minute, but I'm going to do a pitch for the startup that I'm working for, or I'm a co-founder for. So I'll get that rolling. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Okay. So as I said, I'm Suman Poluri, and I'm one of the co-founders at Funnel AI. And what we do at Funnel AI is we make it easy for businesses to engage with customers in real time on any social platform. And how do we do that? Well, we have machine learning models that we build, and what we do is we look at all the social public data that's happening and discussions that happen on all these social channels and public spaces around the internet, be it forums, be it social platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or any other public channels. We get all the data and use our machine learning models to find specific intents. And the intents can be purchase or selling or any intent that the business can be interested in. So we look at those specific intents, and when we find a particular discussion that happens on a particular social media channel that is of interest to one of our customers, we showcase it to them and we connect them to that particular customer in real time. So if someone is talking about buying a new home on a home buying forum somewhere on the internet, we look at that and we say, hey, there's a customer talking about home buying, and he's in so and so area, Austin, Texas, and we showcase it to that the customers we have, the businesses that we have signed up in Austin, Texas, saying, hey, so and so realtor in Austin, Texas, here is a customer that's talking about buying a new home in Austin. And so why did we even start to build this product? There's a few pain points that we're solving here. And the pain point being there's a few channels people and businesses use today to find customers, and one of the biggest channels is ads. They place ads on TV, radio, print ads, and billboards and all these things. But then what's the problem with these ads? The ads are not specific. The ads are not showcased to the people that want to actually buy these products and services for the businesses. And in general, you're just throwing money just like throwing mud on the wall and seeing if it sticks, right? Whether when you have a chance that a customer among the millions that see your ad wants to buy your product, but is that really a good value for your money as a business? No. That's because not all the people that look at your ad will be interested in your products and services, even if you do an exceptional highly exceptional targeting on Facebook and other channels. The conversion rates we see across the industry are quite low. And the other thing that we saw as a pain point in the business world is that a lot of businesses, especially businesses like auto industry and other auto dealers and other businesses, they are struggling to target the new wave of customers, the millennials and the younger generation of customers that are not using the traditional forms of it. That are not using the channels that these people are advertising at. People are looking at YouTube, people are looking at Netflix and other things, but they're not, and they're talking on Instagrams and Twitters and Facebooks, but they're not actually, looking at any of the advertising on TV or other traditional forms of ad platforms. So to get to these new, younger generation of customers, younger generation of future potential customers, the main hindrance for them is the social media. How to use these social media platforms and getting bombarded with millions and millions of posts on them. And what we try to do is to minimize all that, to cut down the noise and focus on specific conversations that actually are relevant to the businesses. So that's what we do. And as I said, I mean, we look at all these posts, and we have our NLP models that look at all the discussions and filter out all the noise and just showcase what is actually relevant to a particular business, and then we do it in real time. And we have a dashboard where with our businesses, business customers can look at conversations that are relevant to them, and respond to them whenever they want to. And sometimes we are mistaken for a lot of other products on the market, like Hootsuite and Spreadfast and Brandwatch and things like that. But the way we are different from them is, first thing is we don't do we don't just do keyword matching. A lot of competing products do keyword matching and then provide you those things, but there's still a lot of noise with keyword matching. We go a step beyond, and we try to understand the context in which those discussions are happening, and we showcase the right posts. And how do we make our money? Well, our product works for all industries, not just for one or two industries. It can be applicable to any industry that is consumer facing, that has customers talking on social channels. And currently we work with auto dealers being our biggest industry as a focus, biggest customer focus. And just for auto industry alone, we see that the market, the explorable market is $46 billion. And then our revenue model is that we charge businesses as a monthly recurring fee, depending on how many leads they want and how many posts they want to see on their dashboard. And then we also do reseller. We also work with resellers of leads and folks like that. And our story, well, we started in 2016 here in Austin, and then we slowly did a few pivots to come to the right product market fit. And then in 2017 June, we rebranded as Funnel AI. And then 2017 July, we actually joined an accelerator here in San Antonio called RealCo. And it's a 15-month accelerator, and we've been through that. And then 2018 Feb, we raised our first round of $375K, and had one full-time founder and then two co-founders working part-time. I mean, one in Canada and one me here, waiting for my green card. And then 2018 July, we also joined Mass Challenge Texas Accelerator, and were part of the first cohort. And then 2018 November, we reached our first $1 million annual recurring revenue. And then we also grew our team in San Antonio from 1 to 8, and that's what we are. And here's our team. Thank you. Any questions? Oh, I'll first go there. I'll come to
What data do you get to the business? And what action do they usually take with that data?
So we only look at public data. We don't have any access to private or private groups on Facebook or any other private wall data. So when we look at a discussion that's happening on, say, Twitter, that we feel that's relevant to a particular business, we just showcase that tweet on our dashboard. And when the business responds, they respond through our dashboard, but they respond on the platform, through the Twitter platform, with their own credentials. So we don't capture any of the data and store it on our platform. We just, we're almost like a Google for finding the best potential customers. And when we find something, we just link it to that, and we just showcase that tweet or Facebook post or whatever it is on our dashboard. And the engagement happens through our dashboard, but on the target platform.
So he asked this, I don't know who it was that asked, but what do the customers do with, like, so like something like Spreadfast, I think, if you target a specific ad platform, you can take action on what the data you get. So since you're aggregating a lot of the
Mhm.
streams, how does the person respond? And like, you can't like DM the person and say, oh, I'll sell you a car, or like, here's a great loan from whatever.
Mhm.
What, if I was a business, what would I?
So, I mean, as a business, what you would see is a dashboard of all the relevant posts. Like you'll see some posts on Twitter and some posts Facebook and forums and all those things on your dashboard, which are relevant to people talking about products and services that you sell. And then, if you want to engage with a particular person, you just hit respond. And if it is a forum which doesn't have an API connection, it just opens up the forum, and you just log in with your credentials and respond to that forum, to that person on that particular forum, and say, hey, you said you were in the market to buy a BMW. We have a great deal on BMWs. Do you want to buy it here? I mean, we can give you some discounts and things like that. And when they respond back to the business doesn't have to have the tab open or have keep constantly monitoring that. We try to get a notification sent to the customer saying, hey, you got to reply on what you said. And they can keep engaging and getting notified on the replies. And if it is, say Twitter, Twitter has an API through which we can communicate. So they do it seamlessly through our platform, but it goes through the Twitter APIs and through their own accounts.
I'll add one more question.
Sure.
So you mentioned intent.
Mhm.
So I feel like if you go on like a Reddit post or something,
Mhm.
people are talking about cars,
Mhm.
they're likely not going to buy it.
Right.
It's like that's like the ground truth, right?
Mhm.
How do you calculate actual intent from like, do you differentiate it between per platform or history of the user?
So we do a few different things. So we have, I mean, that was one of the challenges when we were building our natural language processing models, which is it works great for one platform, but it doesn't, because Facebook and forums, they give a wall of text. You have lengthy discussions, and then finding intent is a different ball game than finding intent on, say, Instagram posts, which have just 2 words and then 1,000 hashtags, right? And people just bombard things with hashtags, and I mean, it was a struggle for us to find how to understand what people are talking on Instagram versus what people are talking on, say, Facebook or other platforms, because people generally post more understandable English language sentences on Facebook and other places than Instagram. So we do have different models for different platforms, and Reddit has a different format of how people talk, and we try to filter out all that noise then when people are not super serious on what they're talking about, whether they're trying to buy a car or not. I saw there was one. Yes, sir.
So when you have a partner client that's using your tool, do they need to have a full-time employee monitoring this dashboard so that they can jump into that conversation in real time?
Yes. So that's what we initially thought. We wouldn't have to, the customer wouldn't have to have someone like that, but through our initial customer experience, we found that you have to have one employee. But typically, say for example, auto dealers, which are our major customers right now, typically they already have a sales, internet sales person already looking at responding through internet sales inquiries through emails and things like that. So typically that would be the person. And then for larger dealerships, what we learned was they usually work with or offload their work or all the social media work to third-party companies like marketing agencies. And in those cases, we work with the marketing agency that is doing the work for the auto dealer. So, but yeah, there should be one person at least to respond. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Does your product do anything with curiosity or things that could be derivative, like byproducts of a process? Like, we have events that happen every year.
Mm-hmm.
Does their product look for activities and maybe ask for previous customers or potential customers?
It
That may have discussed this maybe 9 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, it could do that, but we have not focused on those kind of use cases yet. But again, I mean, since we are in the initial or the first year of our you know or second year of our operation, but this year what we are focusing is on auto dealers industry, which is where our majority of our customers come from, and so we're trying to make that industry successful before moving on to other industries, because we have a few other customers in the pipeline. There's lawyers and other customers from other verticals that are also wanting to use our product, but we haven't promised them anything yet. We just put them on the wait list. But it can be applicable to, I mean, and we can modify our product to other use cases as easily, but we are constrained by the team right now.
The other use case, it's simply what is called the circular economy,
Mm-hmm.
where byproducts and outputs that are considered waste stream
Mm-hmm.
find another use.
Yeah,
They're not wasted.
definitely.
Do you think your product can be adapted to that?
Yeah, definitely. We can adapt our product to that, but again, I mean, we are just constrained by the time. Yes, ma'am.
Do you do any like cross-referencing? So like if I have my Facebook and Instagram connected to each other, and on both sites I show some intent to buy a new vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
do you basically display me twice, or?
Right now we display you twice, but we are actually refining our product to, I mean, that's one of the things we are working on to limit the cross-referencing, I mean, to do cross-referencing and limit any duplicates. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How do customers respond to having a conversation with friends about a particular product, and then all of a sudden someone from that company is like, hey, I'm selling one right now. It's almost Big Brotherish.
That's a good question, because
I'm curious, like, how was the initial feedback been when customers see this type of immediate
Mhm.
response?
No, that's a good question, because that was what our initial apprehension was too. But then there's a couple of things we understood was Twitter, it's like people blasting to the public. So Twitter was kind of an okay platform for us. And then forums are also a good platform, where forums, I mean, automotive forums, which talk about just particular makes and models and servicing and things like that, where the dealership representative can go and say, hey, you said you're looking for this part and you didn't find this part. We have this parts in our system. We can sell you that and things like that. But then again, there's also cases where we found that the nature of engagement matters, in the sense like there was a company that that was one of our trial customers, and then we showed them a post from a particular forum that someone was asking about a particular product, a rival product basically, and these guys said, hey, I'm from so-and-so company, I'm an agent for this company, we can sell you this, which was more like a hard sell rather than, and the customer was not, or the other user, or the potential customer was not happy, because he didn't want people to hard sell. So there's as we are learning how these interactions happen, we are trying to give a playbook to the agents or sales agents how to engage rather than just hard selling, because in some cases people try to hard sell and it doesn't work like in real. I mean, as it happens in auto dealership sales slots, right? So, any other questions? Yes, sir.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now, it seems like this product is very actively approaching people who are interested.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have plans to provide analytics to the person who's, orchestrating all this communication, so that they can perhaps deploy smarter ads as a passive measure to those
Mhm.
specific targets? So, like, if they start detecting in this forum, whatever, people are talking about auto loans a lot,
Mhm.
and then you target that, like, are there any passive measures that you will be able to provide?
Yeah. So actually, the thing that I talked about is our major product line, which is the prospecting side of things. But then we also have two other product lines, which is targeted ads, which we are kind of refining. We have a very rudimentary thing, And we also provide some basic analytics regarding how many people, how many leads we have displayed, or how many prospects we have shown, and how many responded, how many the customer has responded, and how many responded back, and things like that. And then the targeted ads is something that we are developing actively right now, which is a lot of our customers have asked, saying, hey, I see a lot of replies from this forum. Is there a way for us to actively work with this forum, things like that? And we are, building that product as we speak. I mean, we have a small test or rudimentary version out there. And then the third one is social dashboard for your existing customers, basically a lifecycle management thing, which some of our bigger customers that have like, they already have, thousands of their existing customers in their database, and they want to see if their existing customers have any life cycle events or any, are they posting something and they want to respond. So, for example, one of our, say, an auto dealer here in town has like 1,000 customers that already bought cars from them, and they already have shared their, emails and social profiles. They can upload to our database, and we can track those social accounts and see, hey, they posted a new social media post on Twitter saying they just had a new child in the family, so they might be looking to upgrade their car, and the customer can then say, hey, you bought a car from us 2 years back, and it seems that you just posted on Twitter that you had a new child in the family. Congratulations. Do you want to buy a new car or upgrade your car, or things like that? I mean, basically, they do it even now, but they do it through postcards and things like that. They send all these, all the junk mails we get, from ASPs and things like that, right? So instead of that, we're just trying to automate that and make it easier for them to engage. So, yeah, that's all I have. If there's no more questions, we can then move on to the next section. So, it's 7:30. So what we'll do is, since we don't have a third presenter that had promised to be here but could not make it today, what we'll do is, there's a lot of people here in the room that already have startups or are working on startups. So I think it'll be a good exercise for us to go through the room and see what each one is working on, and so we can learn from them. Maybe there's some people that have some great experiences with their startups, and then we can learn from them. Or even if bad experiences, that's good, because we have to learn from their failures as well, right? So it's not that every person, whatever they touch is gold, and we never see any failures. It's good to learn from failures and things like that too. So we can start with, I think there's one person here, so we can start and then go on.
I don't have anything.
No startup or anything like that?
Yeah, just Chris.
Okay.
And I'm ideating on some agricultural systems.
The other exercise I want to do by going through the room is, because a lot of people also have expertise that may or may not be applicable to everyone, but some of the people in the room might say, hey, that person has an expertise in a certain industry, and I want to reach him out because we are trying to do a startup in that industry. So it need not be people with startups only, but people with expertise in some field that should be good also. So what's your expertise, you said?
Soil systems and enclosed agriculture.
Awesome. So if anyone is developing a product or service that has any relationship to soil systems or agriculture, maybe Chris can help you with any questions, answer some questions in that field. Awesome. Thank you. And we can go this way. Do you want to start? Just introduce yourself and maybe what you do and what's your expertise and things like that. You can stay there. Yeah.
Hello everyone, front-end developer at IBM, so if you guys need a website or anything from that side, let me know.
No, that's good. So yeah, anyone has questions about front-end development on things like that, you can, what's your name?
Eric.
Eric, yeah, you can reach out to Eric.
Hi, my name is Jan. I'm a senior designer and also front-end developer at IBM Research in AI quantum computing.
Awesome. So quantum computing and AI and also designer, right? So anyone that wants or some help or maybe some questions on designing or AI or quantum computing, here's your candidate.
Hello, I'm Darsh. I work for the government. In CUA, we regulate credit unions and insurance. And on the side, I do real estate investing and property management. Been in the lending and construction business for almost like 9 years. So
Awesome. So lending, construction, and real estate. That's wonderful. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Paul. I'm a full stack developer, and I'm also a professional musician. I've been playing trumpet for about 20 years. So if you're doing anything tech, music industry, that type of thing, you can ask me questions.
Awesome. Any music or tech? Paul is your answer. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Joanne. I work with New York Life, and I have a financial practice there. So I work with startups on building their benefits and things like that. Also, with business owners and just regular, employees and things like that.
Financial services for startups.
Hi, I'm James again. I'm a developer at Pubis. I'm also a freelance web developer for my own company. Just got that started. It's JO Works. It's not a website yet, so I gotta make that. But it just happened like last week, so yeah. But any kind of front end work, I do that as well on the side, so I can help you out with that stuff.
So freelance developer also on front end, front end and web development, right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's John Taylor. I work for a creative agency. I'm a creative director. We just helped a startup go to market. I really liked it a lot, so I thought I'm going to meet people. So anyway, if you need help on a story, I'm here.
Awesome. So that's probably a really good expertise for startups to ask John. Yeah, John about. So there's your creative guy there. Yes, sir.
My name is Rick from Rhode Island. Just got down here. I have a little mobile app business in the music space. Tools for songwriters, creative people, and music educators. And I don't develop, but I design the products and do all the front end stuff. And I'm kind of looking for influencer marketing people. So if you have experience with that, I have a growth plan for the next year, and then I'd like to sell that company and do something else. So, Rick from Rhode Island, mobile apps.
Awesome.
Startup guy.
Yeah, that works.
So that's a good thing too. I mean, if you have any asks, please let us know. So there might be people in this room that could help you with certain things. So if anyone of you wants to approach Rick, he's your guy there. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Audrey Taylor Quinier. I'm the founder of Schoolio. It's a curriculum management platform for schools in developing countries. We use machine learning to help teachers plan better lessons.
It's Schoolio. Is that the website too?
Yeah, so it's schoolio.co.
Schoolio.co.
My team. We're still like we're in the middle of rebranding. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Awesome. I mean, one of the reasons I ask is I also try to promote the startups from our members in our newsletter I send out. I just list out all the startups that our members have, so people can join your or support your organization in some way. So Schoolio, if people have not heard about that, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Michael. I lead the go-to-market team at a company called A Cloud Guru here in Austin. We recently raised a $33 million Series B. So if any of y'all are at the point where you want to build a go-to-market team, anything around biz dev, sales, marketing, sales ops, business intelligence, or analytics, I have a good amount of experience in that. So
So strategy and planning. Um,
Go-to-market team
for,
building that process.
awesome. And you also said you have experience with uh, raising money. Is that
Yeah.
okay? So anyone that wants to, what's your name? I forgot. Michael. Anyone wants to ask about those things? Michael is your person.
Hi everyone, my name is Alec Corey. I'm the founder of Koala. I'm building the world's online co-working space. I'm pre-launch right now, but essentially building a Reddit structured site for entrepreneurs to kind of have a space to connect and collaborate because a bunch of people moving to San Francisco and Austin just isn't really scalable. I'd love to just talk to anyone who's like entrepreneur, founder, anyone working on projects in here. If you're interested in like trying out the product, pre-launch, and just talking about it, I think would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, please. I mean, so there's some startups here that are in early phase. So I'd really appreciate if you try them out, sign up, and give some feedback, or even spread the word to your friends. I mean, who might or may not, I mean, might not know about these early stage startups, because I mean, who knows? I mean, your friends or family might be interested in signing up to these services. So please do encourage some of the startups here and try to give them some feedback. I think feedback is really important for early stage startups. So that, I mean, even if you don't like the service, you can just tell them why you didn't like the service, right? So that'll be of real help. Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Mark. I'm a trader.
Trading in stock options. Okay. Any people working on stock related apps or products or services? Maybe some help from Mark. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Joe Mailanian. I am in partner marketing at Cisco Systems, the networking company, networking company. In my part-time, I help, I work with a friend to develop this app called Bargainer, which is intended to help local businesses find new customers in their area using expired or outdated inventory. So looking for people more so like in the mentor kind of perspective to kind of give me insights into the lots of questions that I have. So that's where I am right now.
So which space is that company in?
I guess it's really B2C, but so the core principle is that, say you're a small retailer, you sell shoes, right? And you have, 10 pairs of shoes from last season that you can't get rid of. You would put this on the platform, Bargainer, and then which will be seen by lots of new customers in your area who probably don't know about your company at all. And it's not a website if you're looking for it. We're still in the very green phases of that. We do have a product for the Android version that we're working on the Apple version. So looking for just really guidance and really good market strategies as well. So
Awesome. And there's also an accelerator in town called SKU. I don't know if SKU is, I think, focused on retail. Since their sole focus is on retail, they might have some mentors. So you can just approach them if you can.
it's called SKU.
SKU is that's it. SKU and Austin. You can search for that and should probably. If you don't find their contacts, let me know. I think I can get you some contacts.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome.
Hey everybody, my name's Sam, and I currently don't have any startup experience, but I came in here tonight to try to meet some people who might be working on companies that are environmentally or like socially responsible focused plans, and just hoping to meet people who are like-minded and see if I can jump in on some kind of projects.
Awesome. And there's also.
I had several different hats. I worked in the film industry for about 10 years, and then most recently I'm actually a massage therapist. So I don't have any tech experience really. Also potentially looking into learning coding as a way into get the entrepreneurial startup area, but I haven't done that yet.
There's an accelerator called Tarmac Texas, which this year they're only focusing on green tech startups and environment-friendly startups. So I don't know if you can just go to the website and maybe see their current year cohort and maybe see if any of the, because all the companies might be in Austin for the next 3-4 months. You can maybe try to contact some of those folks. Tarmac, TARMAC, Tarmac Texas. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Jeff. Currently working on a startup for Alzheimer's diagnostics using AI and machine learning.
Do you have a website or anything out yet?
Compactmind.com.
Compact Mind?
Yeah, but we're redoing the website.
Oh, okay.
It's not good, but
That's okay. But have you already started working with clients or not yet? Early stages?
we're currently still in the development.
Okay, awesome. So anyone who do you need some feedback or anything like that, or what's your ask? I mean, do you have any asks at this time?
I'm willing to talk to front-end people.
Front-end people?
Yeah, like I said, our website is not good.
Oh, okay. I think there's a few front-end people from different disciplines here. There's two here, and then there's James there. And I think I may have missed. Yeah,
Full stack.
full stack here. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Suhasini Murthy. I'm currently not associated with any startups, but my specialization is in computer hardware. So I design processors and graphics.
Oh, awesome. So anyone needing some questions or to be answered related to processors or graphics cards or computer hardware in general, maybe? Yeah, maybe Suhasini is the right person there.
Hi everybody, my name is Jack. I'm fresh to Austin. I only arrived last Saturday from London.
Awesome.
So I'm here an MBA student, just finishing off my MBA in Insurance Business School. I've got startup experience, 2 failed startups to my name, which is always good. Lots of learnings, lots of mistakes. One was in crypto, one was in RegTech. But yeah, so
What was the second one in?
cryptocurrency.
No, what was the second? Crypto is one, and the other one?
First one was a RegTech business, like a HR platform. With a
Oh, okay.
Most recent one, yeah. So lots of learnings, lots of mistakes. Very costly.
So yeah, there's a person. If you want to know the other side of the de-glamorous side of startups, and to learn what not to do.
Talk to me, yeah.
No, no, that's really valuable experience learnings that people need to know, because they only see. I mean, when we look at any you know any of these startup related websites, all you see is like this company raised $5 million, that company raised like $100 million, and WeWork is now raising like another $5 billion round or whatever. But we don't hear the other side of the story, right? So what not to do is also a great learning. Yeah, awesome. Do you have any asks, by the way? Sorry.
No, just here as a kind of, I'm only here for 3 months in Austin, so I'm just kind of assimilating.
Awesome. I hope you like the weather here.
Well, London's 38 today, so it's as hot as Austin today. We're having a freak weather.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Phil. I'm not part of any startup. I'd like to be. I'm trying to escape the corporate world. My specialty is IT, pretty much anything IT. So.
Awesome. So, any IT-related questions, Phil? Yes, sir.
So, I'm Dylan Peterson. I just got a degree in physics in May from A&M, and I just got started with synthetic applied technologies. They basically build or bid government contracts. So, like they're working on like a airport screening computer vision system, and then also a vehicle inspection system. So I'm a physicist, but I'm kind of a software deep learning guy as well.
Awesome. So, any deep learning related questions or physics related questions as well? And you said you also have some experience with the government contracts and things like that, or is that the company that?
That's the company.
No, okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you. And yes, sir.
Rob Harris. I'm currently a principal architect at G-Aviation, responsible for data operating systems. So basically, we're out there providing tools for data scientists, machine learning, and full stack developers. I come through J-Aviation though from acquisition. So a couple years ago, we were acquired. I worked for a small startup here in town called Austin Digital. We provided proprietary software to flight safety. So we were globally recognized for that, and kind of acquired into. So kind of gone the gambit, looking to go back into tech startups and things like that.
Mhm.
Enjoy
Awesome. So aviation tech is probably your preferred background, or do you have like other tech also that you're interested in?
From infrastructure to cloud, basically enabling and supporting big data. Been supporting software development and data scientists for 20 years now.
Okay, awesome. So any questions about data science or big data or any related tech stack related questions? Yeah.
I'm Gio Falsick. I'm pretty fresh into the tech field. I've only been doing front-end development for like a couple months now, but I'm just here to learn and expand opportunities wherever I can.
Awesome. Are you looking for any opportunities right now, or?
I'm always looking for opportunities.
So anyone wanting some tech help for some small projects, or maybe full time or part time? Anything?
Mostly part-time, but I can do full-time at the current moment.
Okay. So any part time opportunities you have, probably you can reach out to.
Hi everyone, I'm Don. I'm the founder and CEO of LineShift. We consult small and medium-sized manufacturers on process improvements, but more than anything, Industry 4.0 technology. Right now I'm working in the food manufacturing space, helping a company create a digital supply chain and allergy-free food facility. I am looking to meet more folks here in Austin in the smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0 space. I just moved here 2 weeks ago, so that'd be awesome if anybody has any connections. Thanks, Don.
Smart manufacturing and what was the other one?
What was that?
Industry 4.0. Okay. Anyone has connections with or people in your network that are related to those industries, please share the contacts with. What's your name? Don. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hey, sorry I didn't get my back to at least a quarter of the room. My name is Eric Farrison. I'm the director of field engineering for a very large corporation. Kind of tired of being in the corporate world. I've launched several internal ideas that have made it to market. So I'm looking to do the same for mine. We work for the library industry, and like, everyone is always surprised when they hear that. But then you think about it, there's a library in every community. There's a library in every college and university. So many of the organizations that we work for have libraries. There's lots of opportunity to improve the way people do research in our communities. My ask is, I'm afraid of making the jump out of the nice safety net of being at a big, large corporation, so I'm just looking for birds of a feather.
Yeah, I think there's a few events in town. I think I may have sent some in the newsletter. I think 2 weeks back. But I mean, if you don't have that newsletter, I can send it again. Basically, a few startup-related events that are organized by some of the accelerators in town, and maybe just going to those events and meeting the companies in those accelerators, because they're all startups in those accelerators. So just talking to those folks maybe kind of may give you a better holistic idea on what other entrepreneurs, because not every because I've been to some of these accelerators and met some of these folks, and not everyone is like a young person. There's also quite elder people that start these startups, and there's middle age and people from all age groups in the startup entrepreneurship world. And so I mean, so maybe talking to those companies and to those founders may help you a little bit to ease that apprehension maybe. But I can send you that newsletter again. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Camilo. I have very little knowledge in the tech world, but I have a few ideas that I wish to bring up, and if you need anyone to help me or partner with, they're listening to that.
Any particular industry or any particular market or market segment or industry that you're looking you have those apps ideas for?
I don't know the specifics, but I have ideas.
Okay. But I think there's as you heard, there's a few people that have experience with front-end development, web development, and also product, app development, things like that. So yeah, you can probably reach out to these guys and talk to these guys to see if they have any input. So awesome, thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm not in the startup industry, but
Awesome. So I know that a lot of tech founders have or struggle with marketing experience because I know from personal experience, I'm not a marketing person. So one thing I always struggle at is marketing. So any folks wanting some marketing help or pointers on marketing and things like that, he's a person to talk to. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Shanaz Islam. I actually work for a cybersecurity division here in Boston, and I do a lot of compliance, like privacy compliance. So I'm looking to see if I can partner up with somebody, or if anybody wants to work with me for privacy consultancy. Additionally, I do have my own tech company with my husband, and we're also looking to see what, to help out with the full stack engineering.
Hmm. So, so full stack engineering help from your end, and you're looking to see if any companies or any people, any of the folks here want uh, help with privacy compliance.
Compliance or regulatory compliance that you might need help of.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there might be some folks. I'll probably take your contact afterwards because I know maybe not in this audience, but some of the previous audiences had some companies in the manufacturing side and also on the healthcare side, which may require some regulatory and other compliances. But I'll see if I can share. If they still have that ask, I can share that contact with them. Thank you.
I'm Jason Applebaum. Spent the majority of my career helping startups in Austin build and start their marketing organizations, what I like to refer to as building their funnel and filling their funnel. So demand gen, lead gen, web strategy, digital content, you name it. I'm tired of doing that for other people, and so I've decided to take that. About 2 weeks ago, I decided to take those skills and move it more towards the freelance consulting area. So if you do need any kind of assistance in kind of understanding how to build that and structure that, I'd be more than happy to help. I also want to start another side gig, a little side hustle, and build a box subscription or a dropship company that I've got some ideas around doing some research on. So I want to take some of my skills and put them to work in that realm as well.
Awesome.
That's me.
So I think there's two folks here who have experience with marketing and also creating a sales funnel, and anyone requiring that help or in that direction, you have those two people there. Let's see. Yes, sir.
I'm Robert Lee. I literally just arrived here in Austin 2 weeks ago.
Welcome.
Here and live here from Seattle. I've been doing launching startups for over 50 years, and in 1983 I launched my first tech startup. I invented the first color scanners for PCs. And out of that,
Awesome.
in 1985, I had my first of 3 disagreements over my lifetime with Steve Jobs. In 97, I moved all the way out as a single dad to Seattle with my 2 kids to start all over again. And in 98, I ended up launching UTM Systems. That was the first company to ever get certified by the banks. We made PIN-based debit transactions work on the internet. That's what I'm relaunching here in Austin. We're going to make credit cards safer. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I got invited here to Capital Factory because I pulled out of an incubator down in Seattle, or up in Seattle, that I was going to start, and I'm bringing it here. We've got 20 ideas for an incubator, and we're going to start gathering people together who want to join a startup, and we're going to launch it hopefully at a Capital Factory. So if you're interested in startups and don't know where to go or how to get it started, come to me.
You're starting an incubator?
We're going to do it here.
That's awesome.
So it's going to launch in the next month. We're going to launch in the next month or 2. So I'm going to be hanging out here almost every day of the week and just chilling, the old guy.
So is the incubator going to be part of Capital Factory, or is that going to be a separate incubator that's based out of Capital Factory?
It's just going to be based at a Capital Factory. We're going to start a meetup, initially just to get people to hear about the ideas, and then we'll discuss who could bring in what talent to which group.
Awesome.
See, hardware. I'm a hardware geek. I like hardware.
Okay. And do you have a focus on a particular industry, like the financial services industry, or?
Well, UTM Systems relaunch is going to be in fintech, financial services.
Okay.
But the other businesses are going to be all over the place, different hardware products for different things.
Okay.
So we're going to need different skills. We're going to need managers, fundraisers, developers, hardware
Awesome. Yeah, when you're ready to launch it, let me know. I mean, I can share with the group so people that are interested in the group that might want to be part of the incubator. Awesome. Thank you.
Good place to do it. I love Capital Factory already.
I want to connect with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If y'all have LinkedIn on your phones, we can all connect with each other at the same time. So if you just grab it, you go down to these little people on the bottom, and then it should be up on top where you can find nearby. And if everybody does it, it all pops up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Connections. So that way, like if you want to talk with each other, we can do it on LinkedIn
Mhm.
later on, and then connect with
I think my
everybody.
profile's on there, so.
Okay. Well, we'll all come talk to you. Then we'll be in line.
Yes, sir.
Alright, my name is Nick. I work in the data science department at Expedia, and I'm co-founding a startup with him and one other. And it's a payment system like PayPal that is able to eliminate fraud and charge lower fees through neural networks, machine learning, all of those buzzwords, and we have patent that allows us to do it more efficiently. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're in the stage where we're looking for seed money, advice, people who've done this before. We're trying to get as much of that together as we can, so then we can start moving forward.
Awesome.
Real investors.
Have you already talked to any of the angels or VCs or accelerators or any of those people, or not
We
yet?
haven't talked to any VCs sorry, we haven't talked to any VCs or angel investors yet. Really, we've talked. We've done some pitches with a few, just like over the phone, really,
Mm-hmm.
but no face-to-face or any numbers.
Yeah, if you want, and we can connect later, and I can maybe introduce you to a few folks that I know. Okay, thank you. And what's the company name, or do you have?
We do have a name and a website. It's called Cabcash, cabcash.com.
Calcash, C-A-L.
C-A-V-C-A-S-H.
Oh, Capcash.
C-A-P.
C-A-P?
V.
V, C-A-V. Okay, Capcash. Okay, sorry. Awesome. And I think you're already sitting next to the right person there. So, thank you. Yes, sir.
I'm Raul. I'm with Finn, and I'd like to get some experience on a lot of things. More about marketing and how to get the ball rolling is what we want to learn.
I think there's a couple of marketing guys here that can answer some of those questions. And I think, sorry, you're saying something?
I was just going to say that in our startup, he focuses more on the business side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And me and one other co-founder, we focus more on the technology part.
That's awesome. I think there's strategy person here, and then there's marketing and sales experience there. So yeah, feel free to connect with them, and I think that'll be helpful. And I think your experience is in neural networks and financial systems, right? And what's your experience?
I know some business stuff.
Some business. That's okay.
I'd like some more experience.
That's fine. I mean, we all grow by learning, and I mean, whatever we learn, we tend to share. So that's fine. So any business side of things that you want to discuss with, there's a person there. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I consider myself a creative full stack engineer, meaning I tend to lean towards front end, UI, and UX, and making sure that the client has the best experience possible. Currently looking for new opportunities, have a small startup idea that I'm toying with, but not really working on it too much so far. I'm building out my portfolio website more.
Awesome. And I know there's a few folks here that that have their own ideas and want to also, talk to other folks. So, yeah, I think there might be a few folks that you may be able to get some connections. Thank you. And you said your experience is UX and front end.
Have the capabilities of full stack. I just really prefer front end.
Okay.
But I have experience doing user research, competitive analysis, things like that.
Awesome. So user research, competitive analysis, and UX and general front end. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So, my name is Daniel, and I'm a founder of Hype Technology, a scoring platform for Instagram, which allows to score the Instagram influencers on the website in real time and find the influencers for you to work with them. And I'm also a full stack engineer, and yeah, the website for my project is hype.technology, and it's a former Instagram.
Former Instameter, and what is the current name?
Hype.technology.
Hive. Hype. Okay, HYP. Okay, Hype Technology. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And your experience, you said, was more in.
Actually, I'm a founder, and I made the project, the service on my own from scratch. And the problem right now that the sales part and the marketing part was failed actually.
So you want some help with sales and marketing? Is that?
Yeah, right. So the technology was good enough, but with the marketing and with the sales, there were
Well.
some problems definitely. So I'm working to fix it.
Oh, okay. And there's a few sales and marketing folks here, so you can probably talk to them too.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. And Hype Technology, right? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Christina Drake, and I'm a user experience designer at Watermark Insights, an ed tech company. Before that, I had an extensive marketing and advertising background, but now I'm looking to get into the startup world. So just really looking to learn at this point. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So user experience design?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Brittany Clay. I do marketing and public relations for a social justice nonprofit. Before that, I did a lot of consumer PR marketing, and I'm looking to ultimately start my own thing. So here I'm just moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, there's a few marketing experts here, so that's good. That's good. Yes, sir.
I'm Shiva. I'm a graduate student at the University of Texas, and I just moved here a month back. And I have no work experience as such, but I wanted to learn about startups, the behind the scenes of startups, so I came here to know more about it.
Awesome. And you said you're learning. What's your major or what's your IT management? Oh, okay. So any questions about IT management? Maybe you can ask him. But no, that's okay. I mean, yeah, no one here is experts. I mean, we're all learning and we're all growing as we learn. So any questions about the academic field of IT management? Maybe they can approach. And what was your ask? I mean, you just want to learn about
I wanted to know the
behind the scenes? Okay.
I know what the media covers, but I don't know what happens behind it.
Awesome.
I know like if a company gets funding, but I don't know what they did to get the funding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good because and that's what we encourage here as well because we don't do typical pitches every time, and we know that there's other great meetups that we can go to. There's actually a meetup that happens here every second Tuesday, I think, called Co-Founders Meetup by TechMap. That's a great meetup if you guys want to, or if you guys haven't heard about that. All they do is pitches, so you can look at 4 or 5 companies doing the pitching every month, but then we try to be more discussion oriented and more probing behind the scenes kind of meetup. So we try to encourage that. So anyone wants to, I know there's like some people that have multiple startups and some people that are starting up. So anyone wants to share their experience with what's your name, sir? Shivan. Anyone wants to share their experience about building your startups or running your startups? You can talk to Shivan.
Hey everyone, my name is Shubhayu and I'm also on the same board with him. So the same course, MSITM from UT at Austin, and also arrived here 1 month back. And I had actually 5 years of experience in Java and TIPCO,
Mm-hmm.
the back end and front end both. So yeah, if any of you want Java developers, you can connect. And that's it, I guess. Just learning about startups, wanted to have a taste of what's going on around in Austin, so came here.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much. So any Java questions or Java development related items? Shubhayu, right? Shubhayu.
Also moving on to Python because my course is kind of data science focused, so
Okay.
slowly shifting to Python. So
I know there's a few folks here, data science folks, and also people in AI and neural networks and things like that. So, which a lot of folks use Python at. You can talk to those folks to see how that's applied in the industry too. Awesome, thank you. So,
I'm Adi. I'm also a full stack engineer. I started a marketplace company for chefs, Cook Hub,
mm-hmm.
which chef can sign up and offer different services such as being hired as a personal chef, or offer meal prep or cooking classes. And I was engineer at Samsung. I quit my job working on this, and I would love to try out and give feedback.
Sure. I think I may have heard about that startup. I don't know whether you told me or someone else told me. I don't know, but it's called. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, for the sake of the
Cook Hub.
Cook Hub, yeah, Cook Hub,
COOKHU.
Cook Hub. Um,
Yeah, but if you want to hire, so the website is more like just explaining what we are.
mhm.
Please don't.
It's more app based, right? Okay.
Yes, it's app-based.
Awesome. And people can hire chefs for certain events, or
So we are a marketplace for chef, and
oh, okay.
we're trying to give any services that a chef can offer, either as a personal chef or meal prep or cooking classes. Now I know we have a lot of meal prep companies now,
Mm-hmm.
Home Chef, Snap Kitchen, but the way we see we are different is we don't have those problems, those logistic problems that these companies have, because we don't need to ship you, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
food from another state. You know, they're all local chefs.
Okay, awesome.
And it will be more fresh. You don't need to subscribe
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't have that shipping cost. So you can
Right.
just buy 1 or 2 meals.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, I mean, if you if anyone of you wants to sign up and give some feedback, and also maybe share with your friends and family, yeah, cookhub.com, and that takes you to, and the app is CookHub in both app stores. Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Hey guys, my name is Philip. So I'm actually a Android engineer. I build apps for Fire TV, Kindle, Android, mobile. We've started recently with a team of 5 more people. We got 2 more advisors, and we've started to build a platform to help people network meaningfully, or kind of build meaningful connections. And we kind of solve each sub-problem separately, from the moment on how you exchange the contact with someone, how you get information about that person, and then also how you keep in touch with that person. So that that's kind of one place to keep in touch and connect with people, and yeah, keep in touch.
Awesome. Yeah. And with that note, I think one thing I mean, want you guys to, or encourage you guys to do, is to, share your experience with other folks. And I know there's like a lot of experience in this team, in this room, with people from different backgrounds and different, expertise. If you all want to, I mean, there's no obligation. If you all want to, you can sign up onto the Slack channel that I've created, and I shared it in the newsletter. So that way, I mean, the intention for me is to have a platform where people with different I mean, people that come to this startup meetup can just have their sign up onto that Slack channel. So other folks, I know once we go out of this room, we kind of tend to forget who who had certain marketing experience, who had certain front-end experience, and things like that. So if you all can come onto the Slack channel, someone can post a question, hey, I need marketing help. Someone can jump in and say, hey, I'm available to that. But there's no obligation again. I mean, I just do it for on the side for free. I don't have any. I don't sell your data as well. I mean, it's it's just purely for. And if there's a better, I know once maybe his startup becomes more popular, or becomes more flushed out, and comes to version 1, maybe we can use his service to do that, you know. But until then, I just want to have one place, and I started using spreadsheets, but then spreadsheets is like, I mean, I didn't want to maintain all that, so I just have a Slack link. Yes, sir.
One more gentleman over in the back.
Oh, we already covered them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we already covered Chris. So if I remember the name correctly, I think Chris. But
How do I sign up for the newsletter?
if you're already on meetup.com and join this group, I send this newsletter and it just comes to everyone on that group. Awesome. So hopefully that was you know, a good session for you guys, and thank you all for coming. And we still have this room for till 9 o'clock, I think. So you can still do your networking, and beyond 9 o'clock, I think we slowly have to go down to the lobby and continue our networking. But thank you all for coming and sharing your valuable expertise and background. Thank you.